Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to The Glass House once again, and today is going to be a pretty chilled out video. Okay, small interruption before we actually get started with what this video is about. I want to let you know that today, the day this video is being released, I am releasing something else very exciting over on the $5 Magic Club. It is called the Anti-Acan. You ask one spectator to name any number. You ask another spectator to name any card, and you bring out your card box. And people expect a normal any card at any number. But in my opinion, this is better than any card at any number. Listen. Because, you see, there's not a whole deck in here, there's just one card. And when you pull the card out, there really is just one card in here, by the way. That's not part of the trick. It's not multiple outs. It really is an empty card box. When you pull it out, it is the named card as the only card in the deck. And on the back would be written their number. It's a mind blower. That's Anti-Acan, and if you want to learn that, the link is in the description. You can get that for just $5, plus you get the 29 other items as well, all for just $5. So if you feel like joining just to get that, I wouldn't blame you. Anyway, carry on with the video. Sorry for the interruption. With a lot of the world currently in lockdown at the moment, I thought it would be appropriate to give you guys some ideas and advice on what to do during lockdown as a magician or someone interested in magic. But when I wrote the list on my phone of 10-ish things to do in isolation as a magician, I actually thought that this list sort of has another meaning, because I think these 10 things could actually just be used to make you a better magician in general. Lockdown or not, I think these things are really good. So here are 10 ways to be a better magician, in my opinion. So number 1 on the list is crack open a fresh deck. Cracking open a fresh deck just gives you fresh ideas, it gives you a fresh outlook on magic. All the things that I'm going to accomplish, all of the ideas maybe that I'm going to come up with to do with card magic. I don't know, is that just me? Maybe it's a bit crazy. The second item on the list is practice something you're really good at. Now this is something that I need to bear in mind a lot as well, because you often practice the things you're not so good at in order to get better at them. But every so often, I like to just have an hour or so where I practice something that I know I can already do really well, and just give myself a good feeling of practicing something that I'm really good at and just having fun with new ways of doing it, new uses for it, that sort of thing. Number 3 is really interesting. Film a magic routine that you can do really well, but change the presentation. Don't change the trick in any way, don't change the method in any way, just take what you do and change the presentation. So maybe, if it's normally a routine that you speak through, you're going to do it completely silently. One thing I really like to do actually is take card stuff and apply it to mentalism. People often perform the trick the way that it's meant to be, the way that it's taught in however it's taught. So if they learn a trick on YouTube, they'll copy the YouTuber they learnt it from and they'll do it like that. Or maybe if they learnt it from a book, they'll just do it in the simplest way, the way that it's done in the book. And I'm not saying change the methodology of that, I'm just saying, is there a different way you can present it? Maybe there is, and if there is, what is it? And if you found what it is, then so yeah, take a trick you know, change the presentation, and film it, and watch it back and see if it's any good. Filming yourself doing magic is such a good way of practicing, because you get to watch it as the spectator afterwards. You know, if you practice in front of a mirror, you're only really seeing it in real time. I've got so much footage of me practicing. Maybe I'll react to it one day, I don't know. Item number 4 on the list is treat yourself to some new magic downloads. Now, this is not just to learn those tricks, because often I will, purchase or download free magic downloads for tricks that I'm not going to perform, for tricks that I don't even want to practice, but just watching a magician explain their trick and explain their methods makes you such a knowledgeable magician. Item number 5, read a book. Not necessarily magic either. I think sometimes reading too much magic means that you get so involved in it that you just can't see it anymore. So often I like to, in fact nearly always, I read books that aren't to do with magic. most of the books I read aren't to do with magic, and I think that's a really, really healthy thing to do. If you're interested, the book I'm reading at the moment is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I really like reading fiction, but I absolutely adore writing fiction. It's been a hobby for as long as I can remember, way longer than magic has been a hobby. You know, magic, really, I've only been doing magic sort of 6 or 7 years, but writing stories I've been doing since I was a kid. And I think reading in general just makes you more worldly wide. So if you want to be a better magician, knowing more about other things is really important as well. Knowing about science and geography and the way that things work, you know, mechanics and physics and that sort of thing. Having basic knowledge of all of those makes you a better magician, because sometimes you can pluck things out of those different subject areas and apply them to magic. So there we go, that's tip number 5. Tip number 6 is learn a new skill. Now that we're all in lockdown, a lot of us have a lot of free time, you know, to do other things. And I've been making use of that free time, as I'm sure lots of other people have, by learning other skills. Not just magic skills. In fact, the ones I've been focusing on haven't been all that magic related. I've been looking a lot at chess and poker. One thing I've been focusing on for the past couple of years, actually, it's been quite a long time, is memory, how to improve your memory. I've read a few books on it, I've picked up some really interesting advice from lots of different areas, experts, whatever, and yeah, my memory has been improving a lot because of that, and I think that's something really, really interesting. And you can apply that to magic as well, so it sort of crosses over into lots of fields. But I love the idea of being able to remember a ton more than you think you can. Number 7 is very, very simple and something you can do for free, and I'm sure many of you will do after watching this video, and that is watch some old magic. Maybe it's an old David Blaine special, maybe it's some Darren Brown stage performances or his old TV specials. They're on YouTube for free, you can watch those on this very website. Why not? There aren't many things better than watching people who are really good at something being really good at that something. Number 8 calls back to something that I said earlier in this video, which is make sure to not just do magic. Some magicians will completely disagree with me here. I am a strong believer in not just doing magic. If you just do magic, again, you will get so buried into it that you can't even see what it is. So every so often I like to just take myself out of magic and do something else. Like I say, I like to write fiction. So sometimes if I'm just getting really stuck into a trick and it's just fumbling around, it's not making sense to me, I'll just take my mind off it, I'll go and write something, or I'll go and build something out of Lego, or, you know, do something else, just to take your mind off it for a second. And when you come back, you'll have such fresh eyes that you'll be able to solve the problems that you had before. Just doing one thing all your life, I think, is quite an unhealthy thing to do. I think you can explore other areas and still be just as expert, just as focused on magic, if not more so, because you have those other things to relieve yourself of magic. You know, otherwise you'll just simply burn out. You will just burn out. Number 9 is a really fun one, actually, and it is come up with the silliest methods for a trick. Get an effect and invent the silliest, most stupid, impractical method, something that you would never perform. Often, I find, actually doing this makes you better at coming up with the really practical, proper methods, because you're just thinking so outside the box. You end up going to areas of your mind, areas of your creativity that you never even thought you had, so you're there just coming up with the wildest, daftest ideas. And when you come to create really proper, practical methods, because you've allowed yourself to go into the stupid areas, you come back with actually something really, really proper. So, a good example of this is, it must have been like years ago when I came up with the signature trick, duplicating a signature. The methods I came up with before getting to that one were totally ridiculous. I think I spoke about this in the actual tutorial. So one of them was a magnetic Sharpie, like a Sharpie that had a really magnetic tip, so that when you put a card down onto a card box to sign it, there was a magnet inside the card box that was following where the pen was and inking onto a card inside the box. Yeah, I came up with some stupid stuff, but it allowed me to then come back to reality, come back to the proper methods, and really come up with an effect that now is probably one of my favourite ones I've taught on YouTube. Number 10 on the list is this. Go into the comments right now and see what other people are suggesting. I want you to write a comment about something that you are doing in isolation as a magician or just as a person in general, you know, outside of magic, outside of all of that. Just something that you're doing that you really enjoy and something that maybe other people will enjoy. A hobby that you've recently got into, a skill you're learning, something that you like to do. And once you've suggested that in the comments, take a look at what other people are saying and we can just fill the comments with activities, things that you are doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, something a little bit different, but I hope you took something away from it, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to click the thumbs up button down below. Thanks for the support on my last video as well. And if you're new, you can subscribe as well and join me in what I do. One last reminder about the anti-Acorn that is dropping on Patreon today as you're watching this video, and if you want to go and learn that absolutely killer effect, then you can click the link in the description and get it for $5, as well as the 29 other items, all on the $5 club at the moment. There's a lot of cool stuff to come on there, by the way. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.
I think you're gonna have to be. We're gonna have to go.